Welcome to Navigating the Customer Experience. Want to improve your organization's customer service? Looking for insider tips to knock your customer socks off? Then you're in the right place. Here's your host, Yannick Grant.
Welcome to Navigating the Customer Experience. On today's episode, we have with us a very special guest, and his name is Carlos Villares. Carlos was born in San Juan, Puerto Rico. He lives in Miami, Florida since 1994. He's an international university graduate, and he has 10 years work experience for the General Electric Company in the areas of sales and financial services. He's a co-founder of Gustazos.com, daily deal site in 5 countries. They represent global sales and business development executives, and they manage over 50 sales on these markets with gross sales surpassing US $26 million as of 2016. So without further delay, welcome, Carlos.
Good morning, Yannick. Thank you very much for that amazing introduction, and I'm very honored to be here in your podcast.
Awesome. So, Carlos, before we
Yes.
actually start the interview questions, we always like to give our guests an opportunity to share a little bit about themselves in your own words. Just tell us who you are, what brought you to where you are today.
Well, I had what brought me to where I am today. So, long story short, my father transferred the family quite significantly when we were kids. So I grew up, even though I was born in Puerto Rico, I grew up in New Jersey, Argentina, Brazil. So soccer is very important to me, like it is for Jamaicans. And as you noted, I've been in Miami since 1994. Got to work for corporate America. And about 7 years ago, 7 years ago, I was introduced to the daily deal model from the famous company called Groupon, which was the fastest growing business in the history of businesses. And we decided to launch a very similar model, but in San Juan, Puerto Rico. And long story short, here we are.
Awesome. So Groupon is extremely popular. And I know Gustazos is even more popular in Jamaica with Jamaicans. I get the emails every single day, and some of the deals are ridiculously amazing.
Awesome. I'm glad. Well, if you say that, that means that we're doing a great job. So I'm honored. I'm honored by those words.
So could you tell us a little bit about how you guys manage customer experience and the whole, customer service process, from when the customer gets the ad in their inbox, they click on it, they start the process, they pay for the package, everything that goes through. How do you manage all of that?
Well, you've said it very well. You log into Gustazos.com. If you're not registered already, it's free to register. And you can either visit the website and see the type of promotions that we have going on right now. For the consumer, from the consumer standpoint, everything you're going to see on Gustazos, we work very hard. It's that's what we live, breathe, and sleep. It's giving you a 50% discount, 50 to 90% discount on everything you see on the page. So if you the promotions that you see live now, if you would just call the hotel or call the restaurant or visit the hotel or restaurant, you would find it at 50% more expensive. So that's what we do. We give you amazing places, the best businesses Jamaica has to offer with the best prices those businesses are able to provide in order to win you as a new client in most cases.
Nice, very nice. So you've won the customer as a new client. Over the years, you mentioned, or I should say I mentioned in your bio, that you have a wealth of information and experience in the sales and financial services area. And General Electric is known as one of the customer-centric organizations. I draw on a book by Jack Welch called Winning. I don't know if you're familiar with that book.
Well, you're reading my bio, which I worked for GE for 10 years.
Right.
And obviously, I got hired. When I got hired into GE, Jack Welch was still a CEO. So, he's my all-time. Many people talk about Steve Jobs and Bezos and some other CEOs. My all-time favorite CEO is Jack Welch. And I love his philosophy. I'm a Six Sigma green belt.
Excellent.
Which I should have become a black belt, but Gustazos lured me away, and well, here we are.
Yes.
But I apply a lot of what I learned in GE in Gustazos. Right now, as you mentioned, I manage the sales teams for Gustazos in the 5 markets that we have a presence in, and I am in charge also of opening new markets. But a lot of what I learned in GE with Jack Welch is a lot of what I apply today.
Okay, great. So I'm glad you mentioned that, because I'd like for you to share with us maybe 3 things that you found have really contributed to your success, primarily from a customer experience perspective, not just on an external customer perspective, but also in terms of employee motivation and development and really getting the right people to, perform in the right way. What are some of the things that you took away from General Electric that have made Gustazos so successful over the time that you've been, in this leadership position?
Yeah, well, Jack Welch would say, you should always release or let go of your bottom 10%. And that came with a lot of controversy because it takes away the human factor. And what I can tell you, Yannick, even though that's a reality, your most important asset is people.
Yep.
And you need to find, and it's not easy to find the right people. And so on a daily basis, we are consistently and constantly looking for good talent. And when we find good talent, we do everything in our power to bring them on board. But people, our number one asset is the people that work in Gustazos, and I value them tremendously. And we are, I do the best I can to motivate them and to keep them engaged and to love the atmosphere that we created, the culture that we have in Gustazos. So it's a great environment for them, and we're extremely respectful and flexible with personal issues. If you're a mother, if you're a father, if tomorrow you need to work from home, we're very flexible in regards to work life balances, and we try to really incentivize a culture of having fun at what you do. Because at the end of the day, if you have happy people, that's contagious, and your customers will feel it. So it's a happy-go-lucky type of atmosphere that we try to implement here.
Very good, very good. So people, number one asset, you definitely try to encourage a culture of happiness, and that's how you've really been able to be successful as an organization.
Yes, correct.
You as a customer, because even though you provide service in the products and services that you provide to your customers, how do you view customer service yourself or customer experience when you visit different locations, throughout the world in these different markets that you operate in, or even when you have to travel independent of Gustazos? What is your view on customer experience on a global level?
Well, customers come first, and in order to survive, you need customers, and you have to make sure that you're listening to them, you're looking at them, and you're getting their feedback, so you can, if you need to change, you can make those changes appropriately. In my personal experience, I'm privileged at the fact that I get to fly to amazing destinations and visit the best hotels a market has to offer, and visit the best restaurants a market has to offer, just to name a few of the industry we work for. Mm-hmm. So when I walk into so many good restaurants that I can sense the difference in service, in product, in quality, and attention. So for me, customer service is critical, because I feel as if internally when one of Gustazos' customers' expectations is not met, like for instance, if they buy a restaurant deal and they visit the restaurant and they were maybe treated in a different way, we refund their money and we'll give them a gift for their bad experience. So we are really careful in regards to bad experiences, and we really strive on making sure that people understand that we're doing everything in our power for their experience to be one, not only memorable, but one that can be shared with their family and friends. Amazing.
Because that's the most powerful question every company asks, would you recommend this organization to a family member or a friend? And the reality is, if we have a bad experience, we're probably not going to want our friends or family to have that same experience. So we're going to tell them, don't go there.
Oh, absolutely. Bad news travels faster than good news.
Yes.
So,
yes.
And we have a team in place internally that is constantly monitoring social media, our phone lines, and I could go out on a limb here and say that we address 100% of the cases. We do our best to make everybody happy, and I feel that we do a pretty good job at that. A customer at the end of the day says, you know what, things may not have worked out because you're gonna have trouble. When you're in business, difficult. You're gonna be challenged, and there's gonna be moments where clients are gonna complain, and that's gonna happen regardless of how hard you work. The question is, how do you manage that situation? Sure. That's you can make it right. If you make it right, you're gaining a client for life. So it's not about the bad things that happen. It's how you address those bad things.
Very true.
And I'm very, one of the things that I try to convey to the team is, make sure the customer is happy.
True. So you partner with a lot of local businesses in these markets. Sometimes a lot of these local businesses don't value customer service, and they have the mindset that, okay, well, if we lose one customer today, we'll gain another one tomorrow. How do you guarantee that the partnerships you're forming are people who have the same values that you have as an organization as it relates to delivering quality experiences?
Well, that's a great question. First of all, we have a team that we have people on the ground, and our team, we call them marketing campaign planners, and they are in charge of visiting every single establishment before they're presented on the website. So all the promotions that you see on Gustazos, we've done a pre-screening of that location, whether by visiting the location physically, and many times in the case of restaurants, we actually eat and evaluate the service of that restaurant. So we don't allow just any establishment to promote themselves in Gustazos. Our commitment with our consumers and with our audience is that everything you see on Gustazos has been blessed by us. And we guarantee that you're going to have an amazing experience. We guarantee that the expectations are going to be met. Otherwise, your money's going to be refunded, and we're going to give you something in addition to refunding your money. So we try to make, we work very hard in talking and meeting and documenting everything with the business owners or the person responsible for that business to make sure that the customer experience is the number one priority. And let me elaborate. I was watching an interview with this restaurant expert a week ago, and he said, if a person comes into your restaurant and the food and service is good, there's a 40% chance that they're going to come back a second time. If they come back a second time and the food and service is good, there's a 42% chance that they're going to come back. If they come back a third time and the food and service is good, there's a 75% chance that they're going to come back. So, you can't give up. You got to give them good service, and there's nothing more important than keeping customers happy.
True, very true. No customers, no business, right?
That is correct.
All right. So awesome, Carlos. Now, you have a very big responsibility in terms of working in different cultures, different markets. People will respond differently based on the culture of the country. How the people are socialized, what are some of the core values that drive the people intrinsically within that particular country. Do you find that those things may pose challenges for the businesses that you partner with as Gustazos, the cultures of the different countries that you embark upon, the new markets that you embark on?
Yes, most definitely. And that's why we have our headquarter team that actually is in charge of presenting these promotions, works hand in hand with the local Jamaica team to make sure that we're speaking the correct language, because we're headquartered out of San Juan, so a lot of the operation is there. But we have a big team of about 10 people in Jamaica right now. Very nice. And some of those folks are in charge that we're speaking the way Jamaicans like to be spoken to, and the same for Panama, the same for Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, and the Canary Islands, which are the other markets where we have a presence. So yeah, we as I told you in the beginning, my experience has been in many countries, and living in Brazil, different language. I didn't speak the language when I moved there. It really opened my mind. But then you get to it makes you open-minded. So going into Jamaica, when we first started evaluating Jamaica has so much to offer in regards to cuisine, resorts, businesses. I mean, you name it, spas and salons, adventures. It has so much to offer, and we are an amazing vehicle to connect businesses that can use more traffic or new clients with consumers. So that's our niche. But we want to, we consider ourselves local in Jamaica because this page is run by a local team. So they are in charge of what's being published here, 100%.
Right. Amazing. I think what you guys are doing is really, really amazing. And it's definitely changing the dynamics of how consumers interface with these different businesses. It's a new way of you being able to plan your adventures, plan your restaurant destinations or your hotel vacations without actually having to deal directly with the organization. Because as you said, you're an amazing, bridge between you and that organization with amazing deals. So you get it at a reasonable price, and then when you go, you get great service. I mean, that's wonderful.
That's the recipe to success.
Yep. So in terms of the recipe to success, as you so kindly referred to, how do you stay motivated every day with all of these things going, all these balls up in the air all at once? What keeps Carlos motivated every day?
Yannick, it's a great question, and you have to find what you're passionate about. You have to find, at the end of the day, I talk about the pursuit of happiness, and you need to work in life because you need to have a purpose in life. So everybody has to have a job. You may be a dentist, you may be a veterinarian, you may be a talk show host, or you may be a guy that basically manages salespeople. You have to do what's passionate to you, and because I'm doing what I'm passionate about, it's very easy for me to wake up in the mornings at 7:30 a.m. and start engaging the website and my people and getting into meetings. And so first and foremost, you have to be passionate about what you do. And if you're passionate about what you do, you're going to be happy. And so I believe that when you're doing something you're passionate about, success is destined to happen. For me, I love the markets that we, I'm a Caribbean guy by nature. So I love our seas. I love our food. So for me, and plus I love the impact that we're causing businesses, and I love more the impact that we're causing consumers. We get a lot of feedback from consumers where, for example, Puerto Rico right now is living in an economic crisis, and we get notes once in a while, for example, thank you, Gustazos, for giving us this particular promotion because I'm getting to do things with my family that I used to do it with my father 20, 30 years ago. And if it wasn't for you guys and your promotions, I wouldn't be able to do it with my family. So that touches you, that'll bring tears to your eyes. So the impact that we're causing in businesses and the impact that we're causing on consumers is very powerful. So I really value that a lot, and it brings a lot of satisfaction to me.
Excellent. That's amazing. I totally understand where you're coming from when you hear from a consumer that you haven't just touched them financially, but you've touched them emotionally, because usually when you do that, you have so much more impact on them. You leave an indelible mark in their mind, in their long-term memory that will remain with them for a lifetime. And to me, that's priceless.
And yes, absolutely. And then you talked about our employees. Sometimes we hire people from college. Sometimes we hire people that just moved to that country, and you see them grow and you see them, improve their financial situation, and things get better. They're able to afford a better school for their kids, buy a new car, move into a new home. So I think those three components are very important to me, and those are what drives me and keeps me motivated in waking up every morning and engaging with everything we got going on.
Very good. Very good. Now, Carlos, what's the one online resource, tool, website, or app that you couldn't absolutely live without in your business?
In our business?
Yeah, in your business.
Good question. So you mean as a tool that we use on a daily basis?
Yeah. Where is it? Is there an online resource? Is there a tool that you use? Is there a website or an app that, in your day-to-day operations as a businessman that you absolutely cannot live without? If that app was to disappear, you would feel like a fish out of water.
Yeah. I'll tell you two of them. Are you ready?
Yep.
Number one, WhatsApp. I think WhatsApp, I honestly think that WhatsApp is going to revolutionize the way we communicate. I think it's doing it now. Mm-hmm. We don't know how long emails are going to last and how efficient emails are going to be. But right now, WhatsApp, with the fact that you can create groups, and right now, WhatsApp, it's impacting your professional life and it's impacting your personal life.
True.
Because right now, what WhatsApp is doing is that you're creating internal groups within the organization. So I'm in a group with the Jamaica team. I'm in a group with the Puerto Rican team and so on. Mm-hmm. I'm in a group with the leadership team. I'm in a group with the programming team. So then in my personal life, I'm in a group with Argentina high school friends. I'm in another group with my Brazilian high school friends and so on. So WhatsApp, I think it's becoming an instrument. It's become an instrumental communication tool for us internally as a company. And for me, it's been, I think it's kind of like what Facebook was when it first launched, when you reconnected with a bunch of classmates and people from your childhood. Mm-hmm. I'm seeing it again in a more efficient way through WhatsApp. That's one. The other, and this one is basically the tools that Gmail offers, which is the Google Drive. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Google Drive.
Yes, very familiar with it.
Google Drive right now, you can actually basically in a cloud setting, you can have an Excel file and everybody shared it. You know how, I don't know, but in business, historically, you would email an Excel file, that person would open it, and you can no longer make changes if you're the person who sent it. So you have, it was which version is the last version of that Excel file? It's kind of, you bounce around with that particular challenge. So Google Drive today, you have Excel there. And if I make any changes, everybody that's copied there is able to see that change. And I can communicate within that tool. With whether it's a comment, whether it's an email, whether I can send emails from that Excel file. I can send a PDF from that Excel. So it's a very interactive and very efficient tool. Not only that, but they also have Word file and a number of others that for some reason, I'm drawing a blank right now, but I think
all of the Microsoft Office programs works through
absolutely.
Google Drive.
And PowerPoint too. So those two, I would tell you that Google Drive and WhatsApp are two of the most important apps that we use internally.
Great. So WhatsApp and Google Drive. Love it. Now, what are maybe you could share with us one or two books that have had the biggest impact on you? It could be a book that maybe you read in the last year, or it could be a book that you read when you were 15 and it's just really stuck with you to this day.
Okay. Okay. It's going to be a little personal. Is that okay, Jenny?
That's
it doesn't
fine.
have to be.
That's
fine. Well, I'm a martial artist personally, and I do Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. I don't know if you heard of Jiu-Jitsu, but it's very popular now with the Ultimate Fighting Championship. And there's a book called The Gracie Diet. Ah. The Gracies were a family that created this martial art. It's considered to be the most efficient martial art today. And there's a diet behind it that consists a lot of fruits, a lot of vegetables, and the combination of these foods. So if I were to recommend your audience an amazing book, if you're looking for a great way of a great diet and not something you would do temporarily, but something that you would do long term and make it just part of your life, check that book. I think they have it on Amazon or
yes, The Gracie Diet by Rorion Gracie, correct?
That's a great, and Rorion is a friend. We know each other, and I highly recommend that book.
Oh, wow.
Maybe that came from left field, but
I'm going to tell my kickboxing coach about it because I do kickboxing here in
tell
Jamaica.
him, yeah, kickboxing is amazing, and jiu-jitsu is a great complement to kickboxing. And maybe when I come back, if you tell me which is the gym, I'll come and visit you guys. I'd love to meet the gym.
Oh, for sure. Sifu would love to meet you. That's the name of my kickboxing coach.
I'm going to make note of that. So hopefully I can come by.
Nice. Okay, so The Gracie Diet is one book you'd recommend. Do you have any more?
Well, you mentioned Jack Welch book, and I'm a big fan of Jack Welch, and anything he says and writes, if you're in business, I would highly recommend it. So there's two authors for you that you can't go wrong.
Great. Amazing. So we have The Gracie Diet for those of us that will be listening to this wonderful podcast episode by Rorion Gracie. And we have the book by Jack Welch that I had mentioned earlier, Winning. And I'm sure he has many other titles underneath his belt. However, feel free to log on to Amazon because, as Carlos mentioned, Jack Welch is an awesome author. And if you're really going to be a successful leader, that's a great place to start.
I agree.
Right. So, Carlos, could you tell me what's the one thing that's going on in your life right now that you're really excited about? Either something that you're working on to develop yourself or your people.
Wow, it's a great question. We are to develop myself or our people.
Mm-hmm. Maybe a project that you're working on, or it could be a new market that you guys are taking on, or it could be something personally that you're working on yourself. Maybe you're writing a book, just something that you're maybe really excited about that's coming in within the next 6 to 12 months.
I'm really excited about the call that I had just before yours and this with a mega power player in Jamaica who's very interested in taking Gustazos Jamaica to the next level.
Wow.
I can't say more. But if you caught me right in the heat of the moment, because I just had an amazing conversation with a big player in Kingston that is really interested in Gustazos, and I think it could take Gustazos to the next level.
Wow.
So I'm really excited about that. I'm really excited. I'm also really excited about the new partnership that we've established in Dominican Republic. Mm-hmm. Because I've always said that Gustazos.com, because of our email database that we grow on a daily basis, ad agencies, we should be part of an ad agency, because at the end of the day, we're a marketing campaign tool. Mm-hmm. The same way the newspaper is, a magazine is, a radio show is, a TV channel. We're a channel. Sure. And we partner up with BBDO, which is a big ad agency. They're the biggest ones. They're internationally known, but their representative in Dominican Republic recently purchased 40% of Gustazos in Dominican Republic, and now they're offering the Gustazos platform to their clients. Just to give you an example, the number one bank in the island is going to start using our services to exchange their miles into Gustazos dollars.
Very nice.
Credits. They're into the automobile industry, so there's going to be some promotions coming. So now, instead of just being restaurants and hotels, we're tapping into the ad agency industry, and the ad agencies are noticing that, hey, this is a powerful tool that has a very efficient reach. We might as well try to use it, leverage it with our clients, and make it part of our portfolio.
Very good.
So and that's going to open a lot of doors to the people that work with us, and it's something that I'm. Those two opportunities are two things that I'm very excited about.
Very good. All right. Well, we definitely want to ensure that we keep in touch with you and follow you and make sure that all of the audience that's going to be listening to this episode becomes a member on the Gustazos website, so that when these new opportunities present themselves, we are already a part of that journey, right?
Absolutely. And can I give something to your audience? I'd like to give them something.
Great.
All right. So to whoever's listening, if you go to Gustazos.com /give me 5, and I'm going to spell it out, we're going to give you $5 US in credits for the purchase of anything you want on Gustazos. So Gustazos, which means guilty pleasure or guilty enjoyment in Spanish, is spelled Gustazos. GIMME5. So gimme. So Gustazos.com/gimme5.
Very nice. All right. Thank you so much.
No, thank you guys for having me here. And it was a pleasure sharing these, answering these questions and sharing a little bit about myself with you and your audience.
Can you tell our listeners where they can find you online if they want to connect with you further?
Yeah, LinkedIn, Carlos Villares. I don't know the exact link, but on LinkedIn, I'm on Carlos Villares. Also, you feel free to email me at Carlos, CARLOS, @Gustazos.com. My last name is spelled V as in Victor, ILLARES, Carlos Villares, LinkedIn. And then my email is carlos@Gustazos.com.
Amazing. Amazing. Okay, so our very, very last question for you, Carlos. Now, during times of adversity or challenge, do you have a quote or a saying that you would refer to kind of help you to refocus or, re-engage on what your purpose and your vision really is? Do you have one of those?
Control your destiny. Control your destiny. Don't, sometimes there's, especially in sales, no, the client is not calling me back, or someone in the office is not doing this for me. You have to control your destiny. And if you need to do something yourself in order to achieve your goal, you have to control your destiny. Don't let your destiny fall in other people's hands.
True. Very true. Amazing. Control your destiny. I love it. All right. This was an amazing interview. Thank you so much, Carlos, for taking time out of your busy schedule. We know you're a very busy man, looking for great opportunities so that you can really create magic in people's lives. And we really appreciate the fact that Jamaica is one of the countries that's in this marketplace that's embarking on all of these wonderful adventures that you're presenting for us. And we're on the bandwagon from early. So we really hope that we become one of your biggest markets, and we hope that all of these wonderful things that you've shared with us that you're excited about really come to fruition. And I'm going to encourage all of our guests that listen to this podcast in over 70 countries that you will log on to Gustazos, because you never know, your country may become their next new market.
Yannick, thank you very much for having me. It was a pleasure, and hope to see you in the gym.
Great. All right, guys, just want to remind you, you can log on to Facebook and communicate with us there. And our closed Facebook group is called Navigating the Customer Experience Community. And you can also follow us on Twitter at NavigatingCX. So until next time, I'm your host, Yannick Grant. We really appreciate your support of this podcast. If you want to grow your business even more or improve your leadership skills, or train your team members in the art of customer service with skills such as empowerment, speed, identifying and understanding customer needs, handling your customer complaints, and also learning more about your customer lifetime value through our customer retention value calculator, please visit our website at yannickgrant.com or give us a call at 305-848-0815 or send us an email at yannick@navigatingthecustomerexperience.com. We also provide our clients with extensive research data about what really happens in their business and how their customers actually feel through our mystery shopping and customer satisfaction surveys. We will visit the branches, we test through telephone calls and email correspondence, and we provide you with a full report filled with graphs and data that can be used as strategies to improve your customer experience and Net Promoter Score. We are here to help you and be your partner for change. Please head on over to Facebook and come join in on our Facebook group, Navigating the Customer Experience Community, where all our past guests and subscribers hang out and share insightful information on customer experience, personal development, business growth, customer journey mapping, technology, and so much more. Remember to tune in weekly through your podcast app if you are an Apple user, Stitcher Radio, or SoundCloud for Android users, and you can also listen directly from our website, yannickgrant.com. Please feel free to share with your friends and family.
Thanks for listening. For more awesome resources to take your customer service game to another level, head over to navigatingthecustomerexperience.com. See you next time.